Hello and welcome to the Procurement Podcast, brought to you by Procurement Magazine and BizClick. This is your place for all things procurement and the only destination for procurement professionals ready to speed up their shift from being a tactical buyer to a strategic leader. I'm Matt High, Group Broadcast Director and your host for this episode. And it's a great one that features two hosts, if you will. That's because I was lucky enough to speak with Matthias Gutzmann, founder of DPW, the global tech ecosystem for procurement and supply chain. Matthias was our gracious host at DPW New York 2026, where we enjoyed 2 days of great weather, great discussions, and a room full of some of the most exciting developments in the industry. We grabbed some time with Matthias to hear his thoughts on the event, the industry, and the future. He told us about how the whole concept of DPW was born out of his own frustration at the boring conference scene, why procurement needs to move from curiosity about AI to actually executing it, and why his vision is to create something truly experiential. It's a fascinating insight, ending with how he's already thinking about what's coming next. So let's dive straight into it and join me and Matthias. Ready?
Right.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Procurement Magazine podcast, your source for everything procurement. I'm your host Matt High and today I am joined by Matthias Gutzmann, founder of DPW. Matthias, great to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. How are you doing? How's the event going?
Amazing. Yeah, super happy.
Good.
You know, it's a new venue. You never know how this turns out, right?
Yeah.
Especially we have one big box here, one big room, and my concern was initially the level of sound traveling through the venue. But yeah, we use silent discos. We have great weather as well, right? So
It's beautiful.
Yeah, got lucky with that. I'm happy.
Good. Well, that's a good way to start. So let's talk about the event. Obviously, the theme this year, Recode, which is essentially reimagining how we're getting things done. I guess why is that theme here and now? What does it mean to you, and what does it mean to the procurement leaders attending and watching and listening to us?
Yeah, Recode is the theme this year. It's a pretty bold theme, and Since I've been founding DPW, since we've been existing, we've seen a lot of solutions coming through, and but we also see a lot of tools, a lot of demos, a lot of pilots. But there's been a struggle, around driving value beyond those pilots, right, and scaling those solutions. So there's been a lot of activity around AI on those large corporations, but little progress. So why is that? And we think it's because companies have put AI on these outdated operating models, broken processes, outdated systems. And, the theme Recode really is around the notion that, we need to fundamentally reimagine how procurement gets done.
Yeah.
And basically reset, rewire, rebuild procurement to really take advantage of AI's capabilities. So that's really the idea around Recode, and it's really the question you want to answer yourself as a practitioner: do you optimize your current factory, or are you redesigning a completely new one, right?
Yeah.
And what we're saying is, we need to redesign fundamentally new from the ground up, and sometimes you have to tear down the old to build the new. And you can't just buy or build a castle on sand. So Recode is really that. Let's take a step back, rebuild and reimagine procurement, as opposed to just thinking about how can I apply AI to make my current operating models or my current sourcing process 20% faster and better.
I love it. It's an exciting prospect, but a huge prospect. I mean, it's a big undertaking. Obviously, you're talking essentially reimagining from the ground up. What does that look like on a practical level?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's really reimagining procurement, right?
Yeah.
In the world of AI, and ultimately, I think if we want to drive more value in procurement, it has to drive business outcomes, and digital procurement transformation is a business transformation.
Yes.
And so that's the idea, right? To not really think about digital procurement in silo in the context of how can I make procurement better, but how can I drive more business outcomes, and how can I build AI around that, basically?
Yeah. It's getting things done.
It's getting things done. Yeah.
Great. And we talked about, obviously, coming to these events, cutting through the noise, not necessarily a phrase that we want to dig into too deeply, but you certainly talked about the reason people come to events, finding clarity, finding alignment. Is that the case? And tell me why DPW is so good at, I guess, providing that kind of clarity and alignment.
Well, that's our goal. Yeah. I mean, I think the challenge that you have as a procurement practitioner, as a CPO, is especially with all these solutions coming through, is how do I go from here, basically, right? And we have now 90, almost 100 sponsor solutions exhibiting here. So it's overwhelming. Even I actually don't know all of them anymore. So there are new solutions popping out of the ground every month. And I think, and what we are trying to do is really, organize that innovation ecosystem and show them the best solutions across different tech domains, from intake orchestration, sustainability, strategic sourcing, across indirect and direct materials. So, we host this different tech safaris where people can have themed, guided expo hall tours, and learn more about the solutions, but also talk to the customers. We train our attendees on really how to come prepared into the event to, come, with a challenge, maybe one or two challenges they want to solve. So come and enter the event with a plan in their heads, and ultimately, accelerate the decision maker, and for them to have good conversations with those solutions, with speakers, with people who've done this, and ultimately, leave the event with actionable insights, and maybe a step closer to solving those challenges that they have, right? But
starting that recoding and that reimagining, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. And obviously in the US, we talked a little about this. Obviously, you've grown fantastically in the US. Third year in the US here.
It's actually it's 3 years ago we had a first event here. It was a small gathering, 120 people. No expo hall, one big room, and a few 4 or 5 sponsors who supported the event. But last year, I would say, was our real first event in a different venue here in Brooklyn as well. And 700 attendees, I don't know how many sponsors, 60 sponsors. So now we've grown this to 1,200
amazing
attendees. So over 100 sponsors. Yes, it's an incredible actually growth here. And it probably what took us 4 years in Amsterdam. It's now, kind of taking us 2 years here. So the TAM, the total addressable market, is massive here. There's obviously a huge appetite for AI and, and recoding and putting AI to work. But it's exciting to see the energy and the interest. And we also have a lot of CPOs coming, a record number of CPOs. I think we have over 80 actual CPOs coming, who came here this week. And that just shows you, how important that is.
This podcast is in partnership with Amazon Business. Amazon Business is your one-stop destination for everything your organization needs. Think of it as the Amazon you already know and love, but specifically re-engineered for the way you work. Amazon Business gives you access to business-only pricing on millions of items and quantity discounts that scale with your growth. It's about spending less time bogged down in those manual tasks and more time on what really matters. So head over to Amazon Business and make the power of Amazon work for you.
Right. The passion and the desire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, amazing. And it is a fantastic venue. There's a few things to touch on. What excites you most this year? You talked a little about you're seeing a growth in attendees and people from the investing space.
Right. Yeah. A lot of investors are here. I think we have over 60 institutional investors coming in, who are obviously looking to find the next unicorn. So that's interesting to see. And of course they need the money, right? The startups to get funding and to grow. And that's super exciting that we're building more of an ecosystem as well, beyond the practitioner and beyond the vendor, and bringing together, the ecosystem around it, the investors included. And procurement always has been a little bit lagging behind other functions, sales, marketing, right? And I think the investment space, has kind of probably prioritized those functions, but I feel now it's procurement's time. And if you see, Pivot just raised 40 million or something like this. Terzo just 40 million. So there's big money coming into procurement, and that's exciting to see.
Absolutely. It must be exciting for you as well. Obviously, you started DPW in 2019. Don't have to talk about your whole journey. I know it's well publicized. I guess, but talk us through that. It was frustration around conferences at the time, wasn't it? What was that frustration, and how did you set out to make DPW different?
Yeah. Great question. I mean, the way I've been in procurement since 2006. I used to work for Procurement Leaders. I was ultimately, the head of North America, launching a lot of events for them. And then at one point I became actually head of marketing for a ProcureTech startup and was looking for a procurement conference to showcase the startup. And I realized there were no events in procurement that made it easy, affordable for those startups to get involved with a limited startup budget. There were no investors. And there was no event really focusing on tech and digital. And by the way, also, if you look at some of these events still today, they're based on a simple business model, right? The vendor on one side, the practitioner on the other side. But again, there's an entire ecosystem around this, or around those two personas. So young talents, researchers, investors, even the business, right? Why don't we have more CEOs on the stage? Because, ultimately, we need to drive business outcomes with whatever we do, right? So I wanted to build this end-to-end ecosystem, and that didn't exist back then. And I wanted to have an event that's more startup-centric, startup-friendly, and also a little bit from the experience side, something more exciting. With all respect, and I want to talk, negatively, because we're all one big family, but I always felt the events and procurement, they were a little bit boring.
Sure.
A bit the same old, and I wanted to build a new type of event with a more exciting experience, because I think once you have a great experience, an experience comes with, for example, the density of people in the room, right? Experience comes with surprising acts, right? Our morning band is nothing unique now, but
we love them. Both mornings, we've loved them.
You love that, right? So it's a little bit the festivalization aspect you want to bring in, and so look, all of that, and then, once you have the experience and people get excited and you bring a diverse group of people together, that ecosystem I was talking about, people start to connect.
Absolutely.
People create a sense of belonging, a bit of a movement, and I think we've done that. And everything started really with that experience that we're focusing on, and that type of group that we are bringing together, that I believe is unique. And it's I guess more of an ecosystem than an event that we're building. And by the way, we also don't like hotels, so that's why we are in this type of greenhouse.
It's amazing. Let's the weather in.
Exactly. And then in Amsterdam we have the Beurs van Berlage. Although that's also our last year over there. We're going now into the Rai, which is a convention center. But there's a life after everything. But that really was the frustration that I had back then. And then the niche on digital and tech, that worked really well for us. And the people coming to our events, they're in digital mode, right? They're looking for solutions. They're looking to engage. They're super passionate, and
it shows. You can see, you can sense that kind of excitement and that buzz, and like you say, that kind of experiential factor. I think that makes a difference. Is that where you think the future of events is going? Do you think there's more of that needed? Because you're talking about the ecosystem and bringing people together. Is that?
The future of events. What's the future of events?
What a question.
I think a lot about that, but I feel sometimes we're already becoming a legacy event, and there's a new type of event coming through in the future. Now with this AI world, what I really believe is that, first of all, events have accelerated dramatically in a good way. During the pandemic, everyone said, "Oh, events will die." No, wasn't the case. It actually accelerated. And now living in this fake AI world, right? You don't know what's true, fake, real anymore. So I think these face-to-face and in-person moments will become, more important than ever. So it's a good trend, right? That is really playing in the favor of B2B events or in-person events. The other thing is, I think what we are doubling down on, or what we are really, what keeps us up at night is really how we can connect these attendees with each other, right? How can we drive these meaningful connections? I believe anyone can build a tech event in procurement, bring bright speakers, to the stage. So what really should be our core mission is to connect the ecosystem.
Great.
And of course we have an app, but we're also getting a little bit to know our customers better, right? From the sponsors and the practitioners and the investors. And so once we get to know them better, we really can connect them with the right people. So, for example, for the CPOs, we introduced a introduction concierge service now, pre-event, where we connect CPOs among each other before the event.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that, right? So I don't know what the world of the future of events will look like, but maybe we have avatars on the stage of the future, and we don't have to source 150 speakers anymore. And we focus our time on checking hands at the expo area, right?
So that would be great.
Yeah.
We can have an avatar with us having this conversation. Imagine that.
Yeah, exactly. So no, believe me, I think the world is changing drastically, and also the events will change a lot. And AI, is kicking in, right? And right now it's primarily around matchmaking, I would say.
Yeah, but I love that you have that insight, because obviously you can really see into the future there, and you started this event out of a real passion for doing something different, which you must be pretty satisfied that you've delivered.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're still getting started, right?
Yeah.
And we're at the beginning of everything. I mean, what we want to do as well, from a strategy point of view, we have 2 events, DPW Amsterdam, DPW New York.
Yeah.
3 days each per year. So effectively, we are hosting 6 days a year. So what are we doing the other time?
Mm-hmm.
So what we want to do now is build an ecosystem around those 2 events and do more activities between the events, right? So whatever this will look like, I don't know. Maybe we're launching a new event.
Yeah.
But our strength also is that we actually only have 2 events, as opposed to, I don't know, run 20 events. So which allows us to keep scaling those events that we have, keep focusing on them, and keep differentiating them, right? And innovating those events. And I think the more events you have, and I see that as well on other events providers, the more I feel they got commoditized. They lost the passion. They stopped innovating. And I think if the only USP we have as DPW in the future is, our mindset of constantly tweaking, innovating the event every year. I challenge my team, what can we do new? What can we do better? How can we better connect the people? How can we build better experiences?
That's so cool. And they rise to the challenge. I mean, is it anything goes if they come back to you with the wildest idea? Is that...
Yeah, I mean, they've done, and the team is great, by the way. We're getting close to, over 40 people now, and it's been a pretty good growth. But I mean, we have a data and AI lead now, and he has, so we do sponsorship rebooking. So he built our own rebooking form for sponsors to rebook their sponsorships for next year. We have, that team also built a, what is it called? DPW Unpacked report, where attendees, right after the event, get a report of how many meetings they attended, what sessions they attended. We measure as much as possible here. So this is just giving them more insights. But I mean, I always encourage new ideas, right? Of course, we have our, strategic objectives we are focusing on. So I think it's improving what we already have, just making this better, and in the future also, doing new things, right, outside of these events.
What do you think next year's theme will be? How do you go about kind of getting that nugget of the theme?
It's a challenge, right? Every year to come up with a new theme. The good thing is that the world of technology is so fast paced that you probably have a new theme. We probably every month. I probably wouldn't know it now, but maybe end of this year. There's a lot of new trends coming through that help us kind of define a new theme. What we're now doing is we're combining the theme for both events. So we have an annual theme, and so. What did we start with? Make tech work. Then it was 10x. Then put AI to work. And now it's a recode. And by the way, I want to give credit also to the Oral Labs team here, if I may, because they really also inspired us around the recode theme, right?
Got it.
And that shows how much of a community.
They gave you a little nugget of something.
We were already in that direction, but they really helped us with the word recode ultimately, and which is obviously not about coding, right? But as well reinvention and all of that. I don't know what the theme will be next year.
Does it?
I don't know. Maybe we don't know yet. Maybe around agents. I don't know.
Maybe you need to keep it secret, Matthias.
Or you tell me. I don't know if you have ideas, right? You're also close to the market, but the
Answers on a postcard to our listeners.
yeah, exactly. The thing with the theme for me is always it has to be easy, simple to understand, and it has to appeal to a broad group of people, right?
That's true.
So everyone has to be spoken to by the theme, right?
Yeah.
And that's why,
particularly as you say, as you're getting more people from different groups attending, I suppose that you have to broaden the thought process, right?
Exactly.
When you're formulating ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it has to be something bold as well, right? Something where people admire. So it's like, I wanna do that, and it makes sense, and something. I think we are a little bit. We also wanna challenge and push our corporations, our customers to think bold a little bit, and but it resonates well. Everyone loves the theme.
Yeah.
We had a great opening keynote by Microsoft kicking off on that, but I think so. To answer your question, I don't know the theme yet for next year, and it's always a process that takes literally 2 months or so.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll leave you to the brainstorming. Then you book the avatars, then you book the band, right? That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it might be impossible for you to really summarize the event, I guess. There's so much going on that we've talked about. We can see out there right now, but obviously bearing in mind the theme, if you would have one kind of key takeaway that you really want people to leave with, and okay, look, it may be subjective whether people are from different industries or different sectors, but what do you hope people go away from DPW thinking or wanting to put into practice?
To move from just being curious about AI to execute AI, to get it done, right? We are beyond the hype cycle, I believe, and there's now actually great stories and concrete lessons learned that are shared at the event of companies that actually have succeeded with some of these AI initiatives. And my hope is that they are experimenting with those things as well, that they are taking risks here and there, and sometimes it's good to fail. I think even on a startup pilot implementation, it's probably not okay to fail on an SAP implementation.
Yeah, sure.
But
pick your failures.
Yeah, exactly. and to be honest, I mean that, and making these connections here, and maybe leaving with a few more friends, and hopefully get inspired. And what happens actually every year is that people come, right? Sometimes by themselves, and then next year they come back again, right? With a group of friends.
Yeah.
So to really testing out more and going beyond those pilots and reimagining procurement, right? What I said earlier, to fundamentally reimagine how procurement can be done, how work can be done in the age of AI.
And also maybe to help you to go away and start doing things that will help you think of a new theme.
Also, exactly. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they are ultimately the inspiration, right? For our themes. Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. Matthias, it's been amazing to talk to you. I guess you're a happy man. You get to go and have a few days off after this, right?
Yeah, I'm going upstate Woodstock for a few days. I used to live in New York actually for 10 years, and by the way, also the idea and for DPW was born and bred in Brooklyn, and the idea was born here.
Awesome.
And that was the idea that we earlier discussed. So, and it's good to have a lot of friends here. So stay another week here, then fly over and fly back to Amsterdam next week Thursday.
Incredible.
And then by the way, also we have and then go right to London that Friday after, because our DPW Amsterdam event has been shortlisted for an event awards
Great.
in the category of best European show.
Awesome. Congrats.
Yeah.
What a note.
We haven't won yet.
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
I don't care too much about being shortlisted, right?
It's just okay. You aim for the top.
About the win. Yeah.
That's the exportman in you, right?
I also wanted to thank you, by the way,
No problem.
for the partnership actually, and for promoting the event, for
No worries.
coming over, and
Hey, well, look,
I look forward to more.
you're a great host, and it's been a pleasure to be on your doorstep for a couple of days. We've genuinely enjoyed it. So thank you, Matthias, for joining us. Hope to speak to you again soon, and good luck with the thinking, the brainstorming, and good luck with the next event.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's it from the Procurement Magazine podcast. Thanks to Matthias for joining us. Stay tuned for the next one, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, sadly, that's a wrap from this episode of the Procurement Podcast, brought to you by Procurement Magazine and BizClick. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. It was great to join Matthias at DPW New York 2026. He was a great host. Before you go, don't forget we want to hear from you, especially if you have an incredible procurement story to share and want to appear on the show. Send us your burning questions or your speaker pitch by easily dropping us a line at procurementpodcast@bizclickmedia.com. Please remember to email from your business email address. All eligible emails will be entered into a draw to win 2 free tickets to Procurement Live worth thousands. We'll be back with you next week to help you save more, source smarter, and maybe even get that promotion. Until then, keep those contracts tight and your value high, and we'll see you next time.